Hey everybody, it's the Boring Insurance Guy. It's been a minute since I've been on here, but I was just looking at some emails and something just really jumped out at me and I wanted to share with you. Insurance is like credit. Your credit score gets you better loans and, offers and ease of business. And it actually is the same way when it comes to your home and your auto insurance and a lot of insurance, but specifically your home and auto insurance. I was looking at a client today, and we had sent out a renter's insurance quote for a client, and they wanted, this $75,000 in coverage for their renter's insurance. And the rate came out to close to $1,000. And then 10 minutes later, I see another quote to another client for the same amount of coverage of $75,000. I'm not going to mention the insurance companies, but well-known, major, national brand companies. And it was the exact same coverage, state of Texas, probably a 10-mile difference in location, and the premium was less than $300 for the exact same coverages. And this just, it just jumped out me, and it just really, really is awful in a sense, because the people with the least amount of money, they overpay for everything in a sense. In our society is set up on credit. In the insurance world, we call it a risk assessment score. So we don't actually see a number like an 800, a 750, or anything like that. We get what's called a risk assessment score. But it's the same people in the background that are coming up with these scores. And it's the same thing. The insurance companies look at people who lapse coverages, or they bounce around from one insurance company to the next insurance company. So, think about it. One person is paying almost $1,000 for the exact same coverage as another person. And the only real difference is the other person stays with the same insurance company for several years at a time. When they switch to a new insurance company, they don't allow for any kind of lapse. So they're always protected. And so the person who maybe, they get the bill and the bill's due on the first of the month, they pay their bill, but they pay it on the 10th. They don't think it's that big of a deal, but it is. And the thing is that, a lot of times the younger people are the people that, working 9 to 5, working hard, grinding it out. And they don't have that time to sit there and read everything and understand everything. And what ends up happening is you end up paying 30 to 50%, sometimes more, for the exact same coverages. And for me, I like to see my clients have the most efficient insurance possible. We try to make sure they have the best coverage for the best price, and don't waste $1 on the insurance company, because that extra $300-400 that you're paying in higher rate because you lapsed your insurance or you paid your bill a little bit late, that's your retirement account. It doesn't take a ton of money to set yourself up for retirement. I mean, even just $100 a month over a 20-year period of time is going to do a lot for you for your retirement. And so sometimes I'm dealing with clients and they're the ones that need the help the most. But unfortunately, because their budget is so tight and because they're penalized on their home and their auto or their renters or some of the other things that they're doing, just think about it. Sometimes you need, I remember back in the day when you needed to get water turned on or something. If you didn't have good credit, they made you put a deposit down. So, the one thing that I try to tell people, especially young people, is that, don't buck the system. The system is bigger than all of us. Embrace the system and play the game, and play the game properly, and you'll win. And you'll have more money that's yours to keep, to invest for yourself or buy the things that you want for your family, and give less of that to the insurance company, to the landlord, to the water municipality. You're getting nickel and dime from all of these places, and you're working very, very hard for your money. So if you're working very, very hard for your money, please be smart about your money. And unfortunately, it's the people that I see that are working the hardest, and because they're not understanding the system, they're getting taken advantage of, and they're overpaying for everything. Hopefully this helps somebody out. It's your Boring Insurance Guy. Have a great day.